Hi, my name is Paras Mundir and I'm a community builder. Today we are going to discuss about content research and campaign planning. Let's get into it. This is a very famous saying in the community and content world. If content is the king, then community is the queen. And if you really want to run your community smoothly, you need to take both of them all together. Moving ahead, we will talk about the expectations of your community members. So what do they exactly expect from your community? You being a community builder, you should be knowing your members from the depth and the kind of needs they have. So the first one will be fresh content every day. So what does that mean? You scroll your Instagram and you know that if the Instagram is not giving you regular content, you will not go there and you will not actually use it. Similarly on Twitter, similarly on any other social media. So all your users, all your members, and even us, we go to social media just to scroll content because we know fresh content is going to be there. Similarly, your community members are going to come to your platform, to your community, only when they will be having new content access every day. So make sure that you are dropping good fresh content every day. Second point will be content on demand as per their needs. What does that mean? It's basically whenever your members are coming in, they will require some kind of specific content, they will require recommendations, they will require some kind of good ebooks to read, or the very specific niche kind of a content which you can eventually research in past and keep a repository all together with you and can provide it to them. Once you provide them with the content they need, which they could have found on Google as well, they will definitely get more trust on your community and get more trust on the members in the community, and they will always come back. So you need to win their trust with a content on demand thing. Third will be personally curated content from the internet for the members. So what does that mean actually is basically you are curating the whole content. You are reading good newsletters, you are following really good influencers, you are scrolling through internet and you are curating good content and then bringing it to the community. It's basically like running your own newsletter. You have access to all the world, you read about it because you're an enthusiast, and that's why you are curating whole content, bringing it to your community, which is ultimately gonna stick them to the community. Another thing, so they come to your community because they know that they are going to get new speakers, new industry experts, or amazing people coming to this community and talk about some new topics, or probably some kind of specific knowledge which they are not able to get on any other social media. So they come there to listen to those industry experts over key topics, and this is what they're expecting out of the community. Next one will be the discussions. So ultimately your members are coming for the discussion with the like-minded members, and you will not want to leave them without getting good matches, good people around. So it's your responsibility that you are making sure good content is being posted in the community, and using that content they are able to create some discussions where they are able to exchange their thoughts and knowledge. So this is what people are expecting, your members are expecting out of your community. Okay, so this has been given to you already as an assignment, and I'm sure you must have started researching influencers, researching brands, researching similar communities. Now let me just tell you why I've asked you to research all of this, why I want you to do a little bit of competitive analysis, why I want you to get in the depth of your community content. So basically if you are following the right influencers, you are eventually going to get a lot of content ideas with the kind of content they have been posting in their profile. You can use that content and you can start repurposing it, or you can start creating different kind of campaigns on top of it, and you can just start creating discussions using the same content. So this helps you in acquiring new content ideas. Similarly for the brands you can do the same thing. Similarly from the similar communities you can do the same thing. You can get ample amount of content ideas which are being used already in these communities, in these by these influencers or these brands. So first benefit of researching is to get the new content ideas. Now second very important benefit which I want you to keep that in your mind, like why I want you to start doing this right now if you're not doing it. So second important thing is that you will require these influencers, or let's say don't go for the blue tick kind of influencers because you are fairly new in the community field. You can only start with someone who's like gradually growing up in the field, and what you can do is you can just reach out to them, and you can start interacting with them over social media, over their Instagram, over their Twitter, over their LinkedIn, or wherever you feel like. And because there is someone human sitting on the other side, be it an influencer or a brand page person, everybody, some human is running it, and definitely you can build a connection with them. I want you to start building those connections from today, because in future you will require influencers to come and give talks in your sessions, or come to your conferences and entertain or share knowledge in your conferences or in your sessions. And similarly, you need these brands to come and sponsor some goodies or sponsor some of your meetups. So if you want those things to be done, you need to start doing it today. You need to start building that rapport, start using internet in the right manner, and start building that rapport with them from today onwards. And why the communities I have asked you, the similar communities? Because let's say today you want to do a pan India or a global level of event, and your audience is in this specific states, but you don't have audience, you don't have members in other states. What you can do is you can collaborate with those similar communities and ultimately break a big collaboration and run this whole event and make a very major impact. So these are the reason I want you to start researching the two types of content. So I'm sure the first one is very easy, and you have been already doing it. It's mostly curated, and we all understand what curated content are. That's why I asked you to pick like good articles, good videos, good podcasts, good ebooks. I want you to go around on all the social media and start picking up all of this content from everywhere, and start putting it in a good Excel sheet or a repository where you can search it and find it on the right time. So if you want to use some good tags also, or write the also copy paste the link, also write a little bit of comment if you want to, because whenever you want to, you can just find this content right away from here. So that is the first thing which you need to do, which is curated content. Now comes my favorite, which is uniquely curated content. What is uniquely curated content? So if you haven't been told about this is the content which you will create once you will start empathizing, once you will start understanding your user. I want you to think as your user who is coming to your community and started facing some kind of problem, or he must be having a lot of doubts, he must be having a lot of questions in his mind. I want you to write down all those questions. Let's say I'm running a community of community builders, right? So all my members are community builders. They are running their individual communities or brand communities, but they all come to this group to talk about community management. So what exactly I can help them with is the content around community management. So I'm sure that someone who is a novice or who is a beginner in community industry will definitely come and ask about what is the scope of community management, or he'll ask about how do I start community management, or he will ask about how do I crack first job or my first dream job in any company. So these are the few questions he must be asking. What I can do is I can pick up those questions, I'll take them and put them in my community as a discussion, as one chat room, and I'll say, people, what are your thoughts? If some beginner wants to crack a job in a community industry, what should be the steps he should be taking, what should be the things he should be reading, and how he should be preparing. So this is how I'll create my chat room, a question around it, and all my community will start commenting, all my community will start sharing the knowledge which they have. Ultimately, what I can do is I can make a good roundup content, a roundup blog, roundup article, or a video, or whatever way, but you can just round up, you can just roll up that whole information and make a good blog post or make a good content piece out of it, which is basically a pooled knowledge of everyone. It will have more impact than someone else when they are writing a blog or an article alone, individually. This article or this piece is having the knowledge of all community. You can write down 7 steps to crack your first job in community management, and then tuck, you can just pick up 1 point, 2nd point, 3rd point, 4th point, and that's how you can break it down. And you can give credits to all the members, those who have actually contributed to this blog post. So these are uniquely created content. And how do you create that? You start thinking about the questions which your members are going to ask when they will be part of your community, and you just start creating conversations on top of those questions and drill down the questions, make good blog posts, make good video contents out of it. So that's uniquely created content, and trust me, the power of uniquely created content is so much that it will help you to go viral using your content. So work on this, like, with a right state of mind. There's a small pro tip which I have put, which is like, please don't copy paste the content, because copy pasting is of no use. I will always suggest you that whenever you are picking up a good article or you are posting it in your community, don't just copy paste it just like you do it on your Facebook page or something, or any other page, right? You use some kind of a gist of that content, and then put the gist of the content as the post caption, and ask members, like, what do you guys think, or give them some option. These are my learnings, what are your learnings out of it? That's how you put a question within your community. This is a curated content sheet which you can see by one of the community called Mom Shares, which is a mom bloggers community, how they have written down the content in a sheet, like, how to edit a picture on Instagram. So this is like they are curating. They already know there is a good blog on HubSpot. They have written down the content for posting also, and they know, like, this is how they have created the calendar, and they have multiple content pieces like that which they will be using to interact with their community. Similarly, on the right hand side, you can see a screenshot of art at the community, where they have picked up something around gum Arabic kind of a content, and they have copy pasted it from Google, but still they are repurposing it in the right manner and creating discussions on top of it. So that is like curated content. You can always use curated content. News articles are some things which you can keep on always doing. Now comes the uniquely created content. So like how Artadda has basically used it, like they have used the question, hello artist, I'm actually working to make a gradient effect in my painting. Can anybody suggest how to get a perfect gradient? So this is basically a question to be asked by a member, and what you can actually do is you can put this question in the community, and a lot of other artists will start sharing their knowledge, and you can ultimately make a good blog post, like I have already told you, a roundup out of this, and you can share it again in the community saying, hey, this is what everyone thinks like, and this is what we have got after discussing this, and it will ultimately become your content piece in the community. So that's how you can do it. Best practices for planning the content better. So ultimately, the first thing which I'll tell you is to use the content calendar. Content calendar might look very boring to you, but this will help you to keep consistency in your content, which is the key to success for a community. Adding a few rituals to your community. So yes, have some rituals like Sunday fun, or Friday fun, or Thursday promotions, or Tuesday tips, or Monday motivation. Bring such small things. They will eventually start helping you. Then third will be content repositories. I want you to keep the account of your content, whatever you are reading, from wherever you are reading. I want you to keep it a little bit searchable in a format where you can use it again and share it with your members. Then comes documenting. So I want you to document like the rolling up of content or the roundup of the content, whatever you want to call it. So I want you to document such content pieces and even other good conversations. If you can document all of it, it will eventually help you to reuse it in future and save you your time from doing it again and again. And ultimately, I want you to keep on curating and updating your content. You are the enthusiast. You are the person who is basically building this community. So it's your role and responsibility to read content and curate it again and again. So that's about it. Now moving ahead is a small pro tip from my side, which says like each member of your community has his sources to get updates and knowledge about the industry. So ultimately, like Google is there for everyone, but still people will come to your community and they will post in the community because they know there are real humans there who are going to support me and who are going to give me some good recommendations. So ultimately, you don't want that to be broken. Your community is the place for him to get that information, and you make sure that is happening. That's the content research part. Now going to the campaign planning part, where I want you to look at this example which I have used just for reference. You can see that in green, this is how you need to create and you need to think of campaigns for your communities. So I want you to think of such kind of topics which can be broken into subtopics. Let's say one I have used for my community, which is a community builders community, like people like you who talks about community management. So I have picked up a topic like importance of newsletters. So what is a newsletter, how to build a newsletter, tools to require to build a newsletter, benefits of running a newsletter. I can break it down into multiple pieces and use it on different days in a week. So similarly, I also want you to think of such campaign ideas which can be broken down into multiple themes so that you can run your whole week on top of it. My suggestion is that you start doing it from today onwards, because this is your assignment and you need to do all your research which has been given to you earlier, because that will eventually help you to plan this content and plan this campaign planner. What are the benefits of campaign planning? So why we want you to do this? Because ultimately campaign planning or the content calendar, this whole process will help you keeping the consistency, which I have already told you about. Then maintaining the quality of the content. You will always want that even if you are part of any other community, you will always want that there is a good content flowing in. Similarly, your members also want that quality content is coming, and when your content is there in a calendar, you will eventually have time to work on the quality ones, because you are free for next 2 weeks. There is already content there and I can post it. You don't have to get up every day and think about what content I have to post. So that's why you need a campaign planner in a content calendar format, which can help you maintaining the content quality for your community. Then third is ease in planning and operations, as you can schedule it. Ultimately you need time, and why you need time? Because you need time to build those relationships within your community, with your community members, because that is the ultimate way of running a community or growing a community successful. You will require ample amount of time to get connected with your members and know them, so that you can take right decisions, so that you can help them in a right manner. And to do that, you want yourself to be free from content creation process. That's why I use campaign planner. Create few campaigns, break it down into sub campaigns, make a weekly format for yourself, so that you have enough of fuel to run and ample amount of time to invest in relationship with your community members. And finally, framework to identify these campaigns. These are just 3 small thoughts. So this is the mindset which you will be requiring to start thinking about campaigns, because moving ahead, you are going to be a community builder and you're going to run your own community. You will require these 3 things. So first is using uniquely created questions to identify themes. Like I have already told you about uniquely created questions. You can start using them to identify the themes. Ultimately, what your members are asking, you can club that small question into a big question and drill it down into multiple themes. So that is one way. Second will be again that I want you to read and more and more subscribe to newsletters, or subscribe to good channels on YouTube, or maybe scroll through good influencers posts on Instagram or Twitter. So these are the few things where you need to consume that content to understand what content your audience will like. And then ultimately you can go around on the social media and see all kind of trends which are going in. If they can give you some kind of a campaign ideas, use that for your community. Start breaking it down into sub themes and create some good content out of it. That'll be your assignment. You need to identify 10 campaign ideas, and also you need to review your uniquely created questions if you haven't done them right. And that's about it. Thank you so much. See you again.